is Nick, and welcome to the Nick Gartside podcast. I have a guest today. You passed that over a little too quick there, Mr. Producer. Let's try that again. We're going to start from the very top. Are you ready? Hi, guys. My name is Nick. Welcome to the Nick Gartside podcast. Today, I have a guest today, and she is, I would say, an investment real estate expert. Would that be correct, Miss Courtney?
That's correct.
So tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, my story started in Michigan. Yeah.
Where in Michigan?
Southwestern Michigan.
Uh-oh. I do believe that we have another individual that's on the other side of that wall that could probably relate to where you were born.
Awesome.
So, and we'll go meet her here in a little bit.
Excellent.
But keep going.
Yeah. So I lived out on 5 acres on a 35-acre fishing lake growing up, and it was amazing. And we had rental properties. My dad was an entrepreneur, real estate developer, as well as working a full-time job. So that's where I got my entrepreneurship. And back in 21, I decided to do a career change. I left massage therapy. I was a massage therapist for 18 years. And instead of becoming a realtor like everybody else, I decided to go into lending.
There you go.
I do have my real estate license, though, too. But I decided to stick with lending and broke my teeth in the industry back in 21 and have been going hard ever since.
Okay. I love what she said there. You ready? She said, broke my teeth, not cut my teeth. She broke them. And based off of those breaks, she became stronger. So let's just go down this road. All right. So Michigan.
Yes.
How did you arrive in Texas?
Like all good stories. Divorce.
Okay. Continue,
Not
please.
mine. Yeah. Parents divorced at the age of 12 and it kind of bounced back and forth between the two states. And back in 2007, excuse me. I moved back to Texas, planted roots here, and have been here ever since. So I call it the promised land because there's so much opportunity here in Texas to make your dreams come true.
And then we're in Texas. Where in Texas do you like to operate right now?
We're based in McKinney, but we lend nationwide. I work nationwide. But I lived all over the Metroplex. I started off in Louisville. I graduated. I'm a fighting farmer. Woohoo.
Fighting? I didn't even know that was a logo, but okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, I was a fighting farmer. I actually have a nutrition degree from Texas Women's University that I got later on in life. I did everything a little bit backwards. I've made my own path as life goes.
Okay.
So there's no right answer or wrong answer. I think it's just what makes sense for you. But I love my journey and where it's brought me, and very thankful for the things that I've learned along the way.
I love that. I love that. And also inside the studio, we have the husband. How are you doing, sir?
Husband's great.
Husband is great. He's here for moral support because as you mentioned as you walked in, you've started getting introduced to multiple podcasts now.
I have. Yeah, it's been very exciting. This year is about expansion, growing, and just putting myself out there. I like to be behind the scenes more so than out in front of everybody. But, that's what you got to do to grow a business is put yourself out there and take all that it has for you, I guess.
Oh, man. So here at Connected Curve, we very much specialize in AI reputation management, right? So what does that mean? That means that you need to be doing exactly what she's doing. And here's why I say this. Okay. The way the AI is operating is, are you creating authentic content that is then tied to your brand? Let's take one step back. Michael Jordan was the face of Nike, right?
Yeah.
That is the direction things are going. So people are going to search you, right? The company you represent is whom?
Pike Ventures.
Great. No one cares about Pike Ventures.
Nope.
Okay. No one cares about Kinetic Curve.
Right.
Right? They care about Courtney.
Exactly.
They care about Nick. They care about Kyle. They care about Lindsay. Your husband's name is?
Chris.
Then we can care about Chris, right? because we're the people that make the connections happen.
That's right.
Right? So what's going on is, as the shift is moving, SEO is starting to fall away. And who has the personal branding that can answer the AI's question that is being fed the answer? And this is how you do it. Doing what she's doing right now. She's getting on multiple podcasts, right? Because when we go distribute this, it's right now, just case in point, we're live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn all at the same time with her branding. And then when we publish this, it's going to go on to 9 more podcasts. That's going to have her branding. All of this matters. You are doing the right thing. Well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And there's my marketing tidbit for the day. Okay, so you got into the lending side. I think you made a nice little jab at the realtors right there. Like, I didn't go to real
I
estate.
shouldn't say it like that. It's just, I'll just leave that one alone. But no, I love my realtors. I mean, the realtors and I do business on a daily basis because,
so.
yeah, because they want their deals to get closed, right? So they want to make sure that they have a partner in their pocket that they can call and know that their client's going to be taken care of and get the deal closed, or educate them along the way. And if we need a pivot, because that happens from time to time, depending on the deal, then we can set expectations of that pivot and why we need to do things. But I'd never want to just tell people what to do and not give them any direction about why we're doing things, essentially.
Okay, so because you brought it up, I'm gonna jump off this bridge. You ready?
Okay.
What is the number one pivot that happens?
It could be a variety of things.
Yep, I want your number one.
Number one would be the evaluation came in lower than what was anticipated, and the lender is now not going to give them what they said originally, so we might have to jump ship and go to a different lender, and that happens quite often.
Rewind like 3 sentences there. You have the opportunity to hop lenders?
Yes. So I'm a broker. I work with over 40 different lenders. I have relationships with them. I've worked with them for the last 4 or 5 years that I've been in the industry. I've closed over 600 loans in my time in this space. And so I've got really strong partnerships with these lenders. So we know how to work together and get things done. But there are times where we don't have enough comps on a deal. And because maybe one particular lender is a little bit more reserved on their lending guidelines, or conservative, as I should say, on their lending guidelines. So if the comps don't come back strong or we don't have enough of them, sometimes we have to pivot to a different lender that might be a little bit more flexible on those types of things. So every lender has their what we call a buy box. And so if that deal doesn't fit perfectly in that buy box, even though that they said it will, then we have to know who we can pivot to get the deal done. And that's the advantage, in my opinion, about working with a broker is they know who can get things done. Yes, I always try to set it to the best person that can get it done based off of the client's direction. Because what I do is I get them 2 or 3 different term sheets for them to review. We go through them all together, and then they make the decision on how they want to proceed. Now, in the event that the guidelines are a little bit restrict on that property, we might need to pivot to a different lender. Maybe this lender was at 90% loan to cost, and maybe we need to pivot to another lender that's at 85% loan to cost. So that might be the reason why that investor didn't go with them originally, because they wanted more money, right, for the purchase price. So
then so before starting this marketing agency, I was an insurance agent. So in our world, we used to call that appetite.
There you go.
Right?
Yes.
You call it the buy box, we call it appetite. And it was so funny. Being a captive agent, I was told, here's our perfect prospect. And I go, great, got it. Locked in, Miss District Manager. Let's go. And every one of those that was the perfect prospect that I quoted, we just were not competitive. Then we go outside of that box and magically we were competitive. It did not make any sense to me.
Yeah.
It absolutely did not. And that's okay. It didn't have to. I was not the one that was doing all the numbers on the back end. So, but I do think that is an absolute benefit, is the fact that you can pivot instead of just saying, hey, my company's not the right company. You need to go find someone else.
Right. Well, that's why we have so many different lenders is that with the company that I started off with, their box was essentially fix and flip deals. That's it.
Okay.
Well, we also have rentals, so DSCR loans, ground up construction. And so I have a variety of different lenders that work with an array of different borrower types. So whether you're a first-time investor or you're an experienced investor, I have a lender for you. And that was kind of the idea, because essentially there were a lot of deals that I was having to say no to. And I'm like, but why? This is a really great deal. Well, it wasn't the appetite for the company. And I got tired of telling people no. I'm a solutions finder, right? And so I wanted to have a solution for my people, because they were coming back to me because we did really great on the fix and flip, and now they want to keep it as a rental. So, but they didn't offer that product guideline or that product at that time. So anyways, after leaving, I opened up the Pike Ventures to be able to help all investors, whether it's the fix and flip, ground up, or DSCR loans.
How many times do you do a webinar or do you speak?
I used to speak quite a bit, actually, but it's been a minute.
Okay. I think I've been in this game. So similar to yourself, my parents, like I grew up flipping rentals. I grew up rehabbing rentals. I didn't even know half this stuff was an option.
Yeah.
We were always told to go to this person at this bank. And I probably paid way more interest than I needed to. So we're going to continue down this road. You are now here. You've mentioned that you have some kids, you have some fur balls.
Yeah.
Are those dogs, those cats? What do we got?
We're a blended family. We love everybody. So we have 2 dogs and 3 cats. They all get along very well. In fact, they all will like meditate with me. I meditate just about every single day, and they come and hang out with me while I meditate. They really love that energy and that space. And yeah, I love my animals.
There is a YouTube channel my daughters love watching, and it is 3 dogs and it's 3 cats. And the humans will put obstacles in the hallway, and then the dog's got to run through it and the cat's got to run through it. I would challenge you, go live while you're doing that and just let the animals be. I promise you're sitting on a gold mine you don't even know.
All right, I'll do it.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the bullet points that you sent me, because this is very interesting to me, and I've never heard it worded this way. So I'm going to ask,
Okay.
and then I really want you to drop your expertise. Okay.
Sure.
So the first statement was why interest rates are the wrong thing to focus on a fix and flip.
And I want to start off by saying interest rates do matter to a certain degree. I know everybody has will chew me up if I don't address that. They do matter to a certain degree. But there's more to the loan than just the interest rate. You have the origination, you have the term of the loan, you have different loan options that you can do. So if you're only looking at the interest rate instead of understanding the loan options that you have, then you're missing the ball on that. So there's a lot of, like, for example, cross collateralization. Sorry, it's a mouthful.
Yes, that is.
And so not every lender has that product. And if you own a property free and clear, then you can use that property that's already owned free and clear towards the property that you're buying. There's a cross collateralization that can be done there. So that could...
What? What?
Yes. So that's just one aspect. And the other reason that I say interest rates don't matter, in my opinion, is that at the end of the day, interest rates they're interest only payments. So basically you're paying 1% of the loan amount each month. That begins on the second month after you close. And these are short-term loans. So you're in there 6 or 12 months. So depending on when you get in there and how fast you can get that rehab and sold, you might only make 5, 6 payments on it. So it's 6%. It's not 8% or 9% each month. It's over the course of the loan. And so I don't think that a lot of investors understand that. Now, if you are, in the $1 million range, of course that matters. But when you're looking at smaller deals, it's really a drop in the bucket. And the idea is to get in and get out, right? Or if your property is not selling, let's have a plan B in place. Let's look at maybe pivoting and turning it into a rental, right? If the market's a little unsteady, there's another solution besides just selling that house if you're not able to get out from underneath it.
I'm trying not to be angry right now. I didn't even know that was an option.
And that's why you should work with a broker.
I'm please hear with this. Like we just got done flipping this year.
Yeah.
We've already flipped 2 properties.
Yeah.
Right. We bought a couple properties up in Oklahoma. We bought one in Mesquite, and I had no idea that was even an option. I've been using, and I'm please hear me with this, probably very high interest rate loans in relation to what you were just saying.
Well, and hard money is going to be high interest. I mean, now they've gone down this year. I'm seeing them down in the 9%, and that the interest rate is set by the lenders. First of all, the lender can set their own interest rate because at the end of the day, these are business purpose loans. This is not conventional lending, so they don't have the same rules and red tape that you do on that side of things. But I lost my thought. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Hey, at the end of the day, I now know that there's more that I need to know about if we're going to continue down this road. It's so funny we're having this conversation right now because my wife, what she enjoys doing is buying people look at houses and they go, you just need to knock that down. And she'll go look at it and she'll go, watch this.
I love it.
And then I get tasked with all the work, right? But the last house that we just flipped over in Gainesville,
Okay.
like it took us 4 months, and then we were able to have a little margin on it, but bless a first-time home buyer that was just trying to get out of a bad situation.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sitting here and I'm running that situation through my head going, very selfish of me going, could we have had better margins if I had someone like you in my life, right? If I had known that was even an option. Okay, so we now know that interest rates are, it's a piece of the puzzle, but what I'm hearing you see is a lot of people get so fixated on that interest rate, they're not looking at the entire
picture of the lending aspect. And that's the other thing that I do for my clients is that I negotiate these rates with them if possible. So they have somebody fighting in their corner, making sure that they're not getting bamboozled. I have that from time to time.
Bamboozled.
At the end of the day,
how do you know you have kids? You use words like bamboozled.
I know, right? Oh my goodness. But I mean, they're salespeople. I get it. I'm sales. I totally get it. But at the end of the day, there are people in those positions that are new, that don't know what they're doing, or they want to talk really fast and not get things done. And I hold people, to the fire to get things done. Like I set expectations not only for the lender of how we need to do things, but also for the investor, so that way they have an idea of when the closing is going to happen or when the appraisal is going to happen. And if we're just getting a roundabout answer from lenders, I don't take that. I'm going to go back to them and be like, what are we doing here? Right? Like, what's the plan? Because we need to see things moving, right?
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Okay. So I'm going to go to the next thing. The right move is qualifying the investor, qualifying the deal, and then pairing both of them to the right lending option.
Yes.
Okay. And I need you to do some hand signals with this. Go ahead.
All the hand signals, all the gang signs. I love it. Yeah. So again, it's looking at the investor's experience, their credit score, where they're buying. Is it a rural property or is it in the town, right? Because going back to the appetite or buy box, not all lenders lend on rural properties. So understanding the investor's qualifications and the property qualifications will then let me know what are the best lending options for that particular deal.
Okay, so this is very personal. I have a friend right now. They use their HELOC to buy their property.
Great.
And now it's being rented.
Awesome.
And they want to pay off their HELOC, right? And they want to put a loan on it. Can you do that?
What we could do is do a DSCR loan and get them out of that loan, pay that off, and reimburse their HELOC, potentially, depending on...
And then put the loan on the property.
Yeah, through the DSCR loan.
Yeah, I have no idea what a DSCR is. What does that mean?
So it's a debt service coverage ratio loan. And what it does is it utilizes the expenses of the property, the rental income, the taxes, insurance. It doesn't go off W-2s of the investor.
Oh, so if it's rental positive...
Yes.
Then everyone's happy.
Yes.
And that's what that what's the word I'm looking for? The people that are supplying the loan. That's what that lender.
Yeah.
Wow, I really I couldn't think of that word. That lender has an appetite or has a buy box for that exact situation.
Yes.
Nice. We're gonna be talking after the show.
Excellent.
Okay, so let's go to the very last point that you kind of made here. Why interest rates are the wrong... Wait, we already went through that. Okay, so... A lender can close in 7 to 10 days is worth more than one saving you half a point who needs 10 days or more to perform. Why is that? So first off, let's take what's that. What is a point? Let's define that.
Okay, so that's the origination. That's how everybody gets paid on a deal.
Got it. And then why is it better to close 7 to 10 days versus 10 plus?
Well, I don't know that it's any better. Sorry, that question may not have landed right, but
it's okay.
So I have lenders that can close in a variety of different timelines. I have lenders that can close in 24 to 48 hours. I have lenders that can take 7 to 10 business days. It really just kind of depends on the situation. If you're buying from a wholesaler, some wholesalers, they're moving fast, right? And so depending on when you got that deal, that deal might have a closing date of in 2 days. So it's beneficial to know which lenders can move that fast. And there are lenders. I've done it before. I've literally have closed deals in 24 hours. But I set the tone. Yes, it's a lot of work, but it's like if they understand, hey, we have to get all this paper in today. You've got to move with us. Then we can get it done, and it can happen. So it's
You can close a loan in 24 hours.
yeah.
But that is unheard of to me.
Yeah.
It's either 30 or 45 days, and that's the end of the conversation.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, I like all my loans to be closing in 7 to 10 business days max.
Okay.
Unless now that's on let me clarify. That's for a fix and flip.
Got it.
DSCR
okay, fix and flip.
loans. Yeah, DSCR loans are going to take 15 to 21 business days. That's the fastest. The fastest I've closed a DSCR loan is 15 business days. And again, it falls a lot of times to the investor just to get their documentation over. Now, I do like to work with investors up front, work on getting their documentation over, get them pre-approved, kind of let them know what they're qualified for so they're not wasting their time looking at properties that's out of their realm. Mm-hmm. And that speeds up that process of getting everything over. And so I have a team that works with the investor to get all that documentation. We review it, make sure it's all up to date. Plus, that helps us look at other future deals that they have because now we already have most of their paperwork. So when they have another deal, we just might need updated bank statements. They're not having to resend us everything on every single deal. And then we can look back and say, okay, we've got these properties. Are any of these paid off? And then we can look at maybe like if they have a rental portfolio, we could look at maybe turning it into a blanket loan if they need that and some cash out. Again, going back to that cross-collateralization option. So when we understand our investor and what their goals are and what they have in motion, then we can help guide them on their future goals and their future properties in that sense.
What is did you say a blanket portfolio loan?
Or a blanket loan.
A
yes.
blanket loan.
Yes.
What is that?
So that's when there's multiple properties in one loan product together, but they have to have a minimum of 3, if memory serves me, for the lenders that I currently have. And there's a certain loan amount as well. I don't have those numbers on me.
No, of course not. But hey, here's an option.
Yeah.
Instead of holding 3 different loans,
right.
It might be almost like a debt consolidation, right? Just wrap it all up into one.
Yeah.
You have one payment, and that may affect your monthly net revenue. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And the other thing too, like going on the DSCR loans, like we really walk through that with the investor to understand like how long are you going to keep that property, because there are prepayment penalties on DSCR loans. So if you have it at a 5-year prepayment penalty, you're going to get the best rate. But as you bring it down, the interest rate is going to go up. So we like to understand what our investors' long-term goal is with that particular property, because we don't want to put them in a 5-year if they're planning on selling it in like 2 years.
Correct.
And then they'd have to pay a 3% interest for that prepayment.
Sure. And that makes sense that the lender is going to do that because they're also protecting their revenue streams.
Right, exactly.
Right? Absolutely. I have learned a lot in a very short time. And the biggest thing that I learned is I did not know what I was doing.
But you did it.
And I'm not discounting that. I'm not discounting it. Like we did it 100%. I'm not discounting it. But here's the point I'm getting to. Who in your network, hear me on this, who in your network on Facebook have you actually asked, hey, who's in this world, right? Who in your network on LinkedIn have you actually asked, who's in this world? Before you go jump into maybe the real estate game or this game or that game, I have a friend right now, he's looking at buying restaurants, right? Great. Who is he being mentored by that maybe has a database of people that can help him not learn things the hard way?
Yeah.
Because what I just got told is I've learned a lot of things the hard way. School of Hard Knocks. Here we go. So, okay, well, we're going to go and come into the end of this. If you had to give just one golden nugget to the viewers, what would you say they need to know about getting into the rental game?
To the rental game. I think the rental game is a lot safer right now. With the market, it's been kind of up and down, and having a rental property, you're going to have cash flowing in most likely. So it's a little bit of a safer bet to go that route. But it's important to have your numbers at the end of the day. Know what the rent is going to be, know what the insurance costs are, taxes. All of those numbers are important in order to figure out if your rental is going to qualify.
That's good. That's good. Thank you. Thank you for spending a little time with me. I have
Thank
learned
you.
so much. And this has just been, it's funny. I have the opportunity to sit here and interview people, and I always walk away going, wow, I wish I would have started this show sooner. So thank you again for being here. And to my audience, thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being part of this, and hope you all have a great day.